My name is Jill and today I will be filming my Glowy Base Makeup routine, which is this one you already see on my face. And I really love it. It's very glowy and not cakey at all. I'm really trying to use minimal products. Well, less of the products that I normally use. Maybe let's put it that way. I just really love it for this time of year in the summer when you want to look cute. Obviously when it's too hot you don't want to wear makeup like that, but sometimes you want to look cute, and this is a very fresh looking glowy base makeup and I really love it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Let's just start. I already moisturized and I put a little bit of sunscreen on and let that sink into my skin. Now I will be starting with foundation. I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Luminous and Smooth foundation in 110. Fits me very well, and I just use one pump on my hand. I have some redness right here, and this is where I'm placing it, just where most of my redness is, and I am just using that one pump. It's not that visible on camera, but I have redness right here. The foundation, to be honest, isn't doing too much, but I just like to have a very light layer of it. Next I am using concealer, my Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer in Swan, and I am just going to use the concealer as little as possible. I mean, it's always possible to use less obviously, but I just want to put on what in my opinion is necessary, you know what I mean. And I just put a tiny spot there, one there, here, around my nostrils. And if I'm not satisfied with the coverage I have from the foundation, just put a little bit on the redness. I'm really trying not to cover all of my freckles because I really like them. I think they are cute and it obviously makes the makeup look more natural when you can see a couple of freckles poking through. I'm really trying to focus the concealer on the spots that I have placed the concealer on and just not spread it too much. A little bit on the eyelid. Next I'm using my cream bronzer. It's the Milk Makeup bronzer, and I'm not using too much. This is probably already too much. And I want to have a lifted effect, or create a lifted effect with this concealer, and still try to keep it pretty minimal. I put a little right here, a little over my cheekbone, that would be here. And the rest that's on the brush I put up here and blend it very lightly on my forehead. I just try to blend the edges a little bit to keep it pretty concentrated and not have it take over my face. Like that. And I will be blending everything with a beauty sponge later. It is way too hot today and the lighting is also very bright. Okay, then I put a little bit on the tip of my nose, just like that, and on the top and the bottom of my lip, just to accentuate the shadows a little bit, you know. And that's maybe not too hygienic to just put it on like that, but I don't care too much. Like that. And then I blend it, not too precisely on my nose. I just want to get a little bit of a bronze effect. And that's it. And now I'm just going to blend the edges with the sponge to make it look as seamless as possible and as soft as possible. I mean, I'm always saying as soft as possible. Probably possible to make it even softer, but I try my best. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Next is cream blush, and I have this little tester from Makeup in the color Work. And I'm just going to place this slightly above the bronzer. Just one like that. On both sides. And I will be blending the blush in the same direction as the bronzer up the cheekbone. And after that, a little bit in the direction of my nose, like that, just to give a cute blush effect, sunburnt effect maybe. And I'm just stippling it over the nose a little bit. That's cute. And again, blend with the sponge. And after cream blush, now comes the liquid highlighter. It's the Cover FX drops, if you can see that, in the color Celestial. Celestial? How do you say that? This bottle is pretty old, but I think I will have this for forever because I just use very little of it because it's so intense. I pretty much use this. It's like one drop and I spread it to my 2 fingers and I just I don't want to flip the camera off. I'm just gonna use a very small amount and dab it like this. This is already very intense. And put a little bit right here. Oh, I'm sweating so much. It's too warm at the moment. Now I'm just using this bottom side of my sponge, so there's no bronzer or anything else possibly on there, and go over the highlight. That's pretty much all the cream products I will be using. I hope you can see it. Next, I am using this RCMA No Color powder, and I'm just putting it upside down to get a little bit in the cap and shake it a little bit. Open it and oh, why does this always happen? And there's a little bit in the cap now, which I'm going to put aside, and I'm spilling everything. Now I'm just gonna take this little Real Techniques brush and blend underneath the eyes one more time before setting it. And then I will be lightly dabbing it in here just to have a little bit of powder and put it right underneath the eye. Because I can't go without setting my under eyes. If you can, I'm jealous. I need to set because it just gonna creep in my lines and my fine lines, and that's not gonna look cute. And the other side. And I go down the smile lines a little bit, because they crease for me all the time as well. And in the center right here. Now I'm just going to take this one and the cap and dab it in there, a very light layer, and go over the rest of my face. So I am setting that too, but just with a really, really light layer. Next, I will be using a tiny bit of powder bronzer. I'm using this Maybelline City Bronzer in medium cool. I am placing this in, I mean, is that really a shadow? I don't know, but I'm saying it is, and those are my cheekbone shadows. That's why I'm placing the bronzer, just a tiny bit. Just like that. And on the other side. And then the rest that is on this brush, I'm just gonna blend all over the face pretty much. I am then using some powder highlighter actually. This is Physicians Formula. It says translucent mineral glow pearls powder. I really like this. I think it looks very natural, like a glow from within, which I love. And I'm really just pushing my brush in there pretty intensely. And doing this, what is tapping off the excess, I guess. Oh, and I'm just gonna sweep it over my cheekbone like this. Put the excess everywhere else. The last thing are my brows, and I'm using a NYX micro brow pencil and a regular spoolie. I'm first just brushing them through and trying to push all the hairs up to be able to imagine the shape that I want a little better. And then I am trying to barely touch the skin with this pencil to have it look as natural as possible. I'm probably not going to be able to film this too well, but I'll try. I'm really just barely touching the skin and going over some sparser areas very carefully. And that's pretty much it for that brow. Just going to brush it through one more time. And the same with the other brow, which is a little more tricky. I definitely like this brow more than that one. It's in better shape. Yeah, those are pretty much my brows and how I do them. The last thing I will do now is some brow gel, Maybelline Brow Drama Brow Gel. And try to push the hairs up to make them look as bushy and full as possible. And yeah, that is pretty much my glowy base finished. That's how I do it pretty much every time I am doing my makeup right now. I really like this. I think it looks natural. I mean, I think it's very glowy and fresh and cute. A little bit of the freckles are showing through and I like the glow. And yeah, then I just do some eye makeup. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day. Bye. Well, I'm sorry for not being able to hold the camera without shaking it, but I just wanted to film this part to show you what it looks like in a little bit of better lighting that's not as bright and not making it look as crazy. So yeah, that's what my glowy base makeup actually looks like when I look into the mirror.